Good morning, everybody. I'm Jill.
And I'm Roger.
And we are Which Way Now? Here we are at Bourges. Now, we left this morning. We got up at 6 o'clock in the dark and we were on the road at 6:15 because we only had to move the chocks and then drive Henry away, and that was it. So after we cleaned our teeth and just woken ourselves up a little bit, we were ready to go. And we've been on the road pretty much ever since. We got here at about 3:15, about an hour ago. And now we're just sitting down and chilling. It's very, very warm here. We did say we were going to take a bit more time driving through France, but this first bit we knew was going to take us 7 or 8 hours, and it did. But that's absolutely fine. We stopped for lunch, we stopped for breakfast en route as well. And it didn't actually seem too bad, did it, today? It was fine. So now we've arrived at Bourges. We're at the municipal camping in Bourges. It's about 15 minutes away by walking from the centre of the town. There's a beautiful cathedral here, apparently. It's various museums, lots of medieval houses. So tomorrow we're going to go, I think, into the town and explore, and hopefully we'll be able to report back when we've done a little bit of exploring. We're currently inside the Bourges Cathedral. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and construction apparently started in about 1195, so about 800, 900 years ago. And the stained glass windows in here are amazing, and the space inside here is absolutely vast. So we're now outside the cathedral in Bourges, and as I said, this was started in 1195 and it was actually built on Gallo-Roman remains. And we were just reading about the fact that it's actually built in the style of a pyramid. So they started with the choir, which is the bit above the altar, and they kind of then built up and out and up and out. And it was, yeah, quite an interesting description about how they actually built it in the style of a pyramid. It's absolutely beautiful inside there. So a typical village in Bourges, or a typical street in Bourges, I should say. Beautiful buildings down here, very medieval, cobbled streets. We've just seen a beautiful cafe under shaded trees as well. Absolutely lovely. they're currently restoring what looks like the tower of the cathedral, and it's going to take 18 months. So they've got a big sign on the side that says there's 1 month of preparation, 18 months to restore it, and it's going to cost €1,607,215.8. How the heck they know exactly to the 0.8 of a euro how much it's going to cost, I don't know, but I'd really like to see their accounts at the end of it to see if they've managed to keep that to cost. So we are in the Jardin de l'Archevêché, which has a beautiful view of the cathedral. Absolutely stunning flowers in here as well, beautiful roses. I'm not sure what these other flowers are, but the display is lovely. And we've just been reading about Bourges, and Bourges was very famous in the 1500s, in the time of King Charles VII, who was also King of France, and it was during the 100 Years' War, and he took refuge here. And his son, Louis the 11th, 12th, can't remember, Louis the 11th, I think it was born here in 1423 as well. It's a very old city, the beautiful medieval buildings dating from the 1400s. And there was a very famous man who was called Jacques Coeur, who was also, he was the treasurer of Charles VII. And he was a very famous and well-known man here. And he had a motto that says, with a valiant heart, nothing is impossible. And apparently all the people in Bourges have taken that to their hearts, or so we're led to believe anyway. We've just been wandering around Bourges. We've been wandering all past the medieval quarter, and that's lovely, but it's very warm today, so we stopped for a quick drink to refuel and then maybe go on to the marshes later on. We're about a mile from the centre of Bourges here, and we're in the marshes of Bourges. And originally these were used for defence, because actually there's quite a lot of water that lies all around the city, the town, whatever you want to call it. And in the 17th century, the Jesuits gave this to the people, and they started to develop it into market gardens. And for 3 centuries, they then fed the people of Bourges from all of these beautiful gardens, which are in between all these tiny little bits of canal here. And then obviously when mass production happened in the 20th century, that went off. But you can see there's an example of a really lovely cultivated garden behind us here as well. And we're just cycling around. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's so peaceful and much cooler because of the water as well. This morning we left our campsite quite early, at just after 7 o'clock, up at 7:15. We set the alarm for 7 o'clock, but we were awake before that anyway. And we drove here to Cognac. Now before we go into Cognac, we're going to just give a little resume of our last day in Bourges. We loved Bourges, we thought it was a great city. After we'd been to the cathedral in the morning, we then went around the old medieval streets, and we went to the marshes as well, which was absolutely beautiful. And then in the afternoon we went to the Resistance Museum, which was very interesting. It was very heavily swayed towards French resistance in that particular area, so under the Vichy government. But it was interesting, and we spent an hour or so in there. That was quite good. We then went to the lake as well, which was very near, and that was where I'd gone for my run in the morning, and that was beautiful too. We were going to do some videoing there, but it was just too hot to stop and do anything really. So that was really good. We enjoyed our stay in Bourges, 2 nights in the municipal campsite, very good value, 40 odd euros, 43 euros I think it was, something like that. Very good value, would highly recommend the campsite. Very friendly lady when we went in as well. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and send us a comment.